How do you tune up a sarangi?
The way you tune the sarangi is like you have notes on the vajja, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa. Same way you tune these, the main strands you tune where you're going to sing, whether you're going to sing at sa, whether you're going to sing at re or ga, how high you're going to sing. So basically if you're going to sing at sa, you just say sa, and then you basically tune this strand here to that level wherever you're going to sing. So by adjusting these pegs on the side. So basically these allow you to adjust these at different pitch. There's one on the side here for the inner string, and there's the one here for the core. There's an octave down, yeah. And these thin strings here, which they call resonance strings, they tuned again from sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, same way, using these pegs on the top and using these pegs on the side of the sarangi. And you can, to start with learning how to tune it, you can actually press the note on the vajja and then tune these thin strings here with the same tune, same note.
What is a gaj? How do you hold it?
Okay, that's actually a very good question, a very important question. But actually a lot of people, like for myself when I started, I was holding the gaj for nearly 4 years because somebody told me how to hold it properly, because that time when I started 20 years ago, there weren't many people who actually showed you how to play sarangi, how to hold the gaj, and how to actually start the basics. So it's important to get it right when you start learning, begin from beginning to get your gaj holding right and get the gaj pressure on the sarangi right. So the way you hold it is, some people actually come to sarangi lesson, they actually grab the gaj, so you can't really play like that. You have to grab the gaj, basically let it rest in your hand like this, 2 fingers inside, 2 fingers outside, like you're sitting on your hand. And this finger here, the thumb here is actually controlling the gaj at the back. So when you actually, with the Dhaddhi sarangi gaj, it's a little bit different from the classical sarangi. Classical sarangi doesn't have a bell. Whereas when you're singing war and sake and Dhaddhi, you need the bell so I can shake both sides, right? So only way you can make them shake is that you hold the gaj right. The way you hold the gaj, the way you shake on the forward stroke is you let the gaj actually going to fly out of your hand. But you hold it with your thumb, keep the pressure here, keep the hold, and it's going to come out of your hand, and that will shake the bells. And when you come back, you close your hand, and that will actually shake the bells on the return stroke. So actually when you're playing the string, it's also important, the stroke of the gaj, you've got to be pretty constant when you're playing with the tada. Because with the vajja, you can actually stop the note and start again with the gaj once it's running. You can't stop, because as soon as the gaj stops, the noise of the sarangi stops. So if you give you a demonstration, you've got to play. So the bells got to sound both sides. You can't just pull the gaj and shake the bell like. You can't do this. You can't do this. So you got to play the gaj very smoothly, and the bells got to shake at the end of the stroke.
What sort of voice do you need for Dhaddhi?
The type of voice you need for the Dhaddhi sarangi is a very, very loud voice. And my teacher said once to me, he said, if you want to play Dhaddhi, when you cry, if the neighbors can't hear you, you can forget about Dhaddhi. So when you're crying, the neighbors can hear you, that means you got the Dhaddhi voice. So to give you a demo, the girls will give you, because the girls have a high-pitched voice, they're suited for the Dhaddhis. Where the boys, when they grow about 14, their voice breaks, and there's a lot of boys actually give up Dhaddhi because they can't sing high pitch. So the girls will give you a little demo now of the high pitch of the voice required for the Dhaddhi.
I'm 6 years old. Am I too young to learn the sarangi or Dad?
Now you can start learning sarangi at any age, basically. A lot of people say, you can learn, you can get a lot of the knowledge even in your mother's womb, even before you're born. You can actually learn a lot of the stuff. So it depends on your parent what sort of the interest they have. So if when your mother is carrying a baby and she's listening a lot of Dhaddhi, and that gyan is going to the baby. But obviously there is age when you can grow up and pick up the sarangi. So you can't start learning sarangi until you can pick up the sarangi. So at about 2-3 years old, you can start learning sarangi. Because I know this little kid, he's only 3-year-old. You've probably seen him before last time when we did a program. He's only 3-year-old and he's already got a little sarangi made especially for him. And he's tuning at home, watching his dad playing. And already he can't play at the moment, but in his mind he can play those tunes, and he actually does imitation of those tunes on the sarangi.
How do you hold a sarangi?
Right, when it comes to holding the sarangi, there's different sizes. So this sarangi is not actually that heavy. What we usually do is there's usually a string here which you can put your arm through. And some sarangi players, what they tend to do is they tend to pull out the top note, because it's not usually one that you tune out. They pull it out and the rest of it behind the back of their heads. But this sarangi that I have, and a lot of sarangis tend to have this, they have like a hook which you can hook onto a metal piece here, so you can hold the sarangi in place whilst you play at the same time, so it doesn't fall down when you're playing. Well, I'm one of the students of the Dhaddhi class, and we also have a jatha which we go regularly around the Gudwaras, and this is Jasprit and Rukjit, and we all play the instruments together as a group. Now I'm just going to do a small demonstration of how to play the sarangi. This is just something more advanced, but starting with the basics, we started off playing Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Dha Ni Sa. I'm just going to play that for you now.
Could you play the sarangi and the dod together?
Right, once again, this is something that we learn in the advanced class, but you'll be working up towards that and learning through the basics. Right, what I'm going to play is the var.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।